Hey you, it's me, Nicole Phoenix Star, and this is a Nick Star podcast. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit wiped out today. Been a little bit fluey the last couple of days. My daughter Ruby was fluey last week, and then Leo was, and then he was wanting me to give him some healing hugs, and I think he shared a little bit with me. Just like I'm fine. I just feel a little congested and a little headachy, and I've had a super busy day. So yeah. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about Ozempic and my thoughts on that. And like anything pharmaceutical or bioidentical or anything like that, generally there's a time and a place for it for some people, and I don't have any fierce judgment over things. And generally, pharmaceuticals and stuff, especially in a medical crisis, can be extremely helpful. And things like Ozempic are incredibly helpful with people with diabetes and perhaps in that need a big lift up to getting into some structured eating and really need some significant support. But most of Ozempic is used by people who have tried lots of diets and are somewhat educated and don't exactly fit that bill, that ultimately are looking for a quick fix, or they feel like they've tried everything and haven't been able to sustain anything. And that's the biggest problem with any quick fix or crash diet, is it's not sustainable. Like, most people are able to lose weight, and sometimes a significant amount of weight, and then go back to a different way of eating, and the weight goes back on. And that's what I see with Ozempic as well. People are able to lose a lot of weight, but once they go off it, the weight comes back on. There's a lot of issues with side effects, and so many people I know have had like extreme nausea, as well as a myriad of different side effects that are super unpleasant, like feeling really, really crappy on it. But, some don't even lose weight and some do, but feeling really, really crappy on it. And like I said, although it can be a bridge for some, it's really not helpful in the long term. Like, it's just not a sustainable lifestyle shift. It's not a sustainable weight maintenance option. And, like, once I had implemented all that I'd studied in food science and nutrition and movement and all of that, I found a formula that works for everyone who follows it, because not everyone follows it, and have been able to sustain the weight loss and a level of health and a level of vitality and and balanced hormones and all of these things. So, Ozempic really ultimately, you know, at its basic level, suppresses the appetite, so you don't eat as much. And so you're not generally getting a level of nutrition that the body needs to thrive. And it really screws with your metabolism, which as you get older is really difficult to course correct. And you know, anyone who's tried the cabbage diet knows that screwing with your metabolism can take years to restabilize. The other thing Ozempic does a lot is it rapidly creates lean muscle loss. And that is a huge issue because, you know, you may not be eating as much and whatever, but the energy just gets pulled out of the lean muscle as opposed to out of, you know, fat stores and the nutrition that is lacking, which one usually uses for energy and fuel. It's just not there. And so there's this big issue with rapid lean muscle loss that happens, and you might be skinny, but you aren't able to have that sculptured look or that defined look. It's just a really big issue with it. For me, what I found has found that works is using food. And I eat a lot of food, and I've said that a lot. And at the moment, I have 9 people going through my program, and they always say, "Oh my God, there's so much food." And I'm like, yeah, I know. There is so much food. It is so dense in nutrients, and it is so low in calories, and it's so yummy, and it's so filling, because what happens is the body is satiated, and because we're eating every 3 to 4 hours, you never get hungry, and you don't go into that stress mode on the body where it's hungry, particularly with the women I work with that are in perimenopause or menopause or postmenopause, that hunger can create a level of stress that makes you hold calories, energy, fuel, and that's how women get thick stomachs and weight on them and that they haven't had before in strange places and all of these things. I remember a couple of years ago when I was talking to an old student of mine, and she is a mature model, and she went from being quite thin to a really toned, athletic body in her early 40s. And I said to her, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I wasn't eating enough." She goes, "I wasn't having enough fuel to optimize my workouts, and I've started eating more calories, specifically at, you know, the times you talk about, and befriending breakfast and doing a pre-workout drink, and it just has transformed my body." And I went, "Yeah, I get that." And it was just a really huge pivotal point to see someone who's always been like super thin from not eating a lot and how she had to make a change in her early 40s when perimenopause hit, to eating more specific calories, and how it just transformed her body into such an incredible shift and change. And yeah, she got a lot more leaner and more defined, and yeah, it was very, very profound. And it was not long afterwards, I spoke to a woman who's actually a bodybuilder, and she explained to me around about eating, you know, pretty much very similar things every day. Um, and also explained to me that when she's trying to um, shred, not shred, she's trying to prepare for a competition, how she has to increase her calories and work out more. And that gives her that defined bodybuilding body. And all these little pieces went click, click, click. And when you're on Ozempic, you just can't get to that point where your body's like lean, because it just, creates this rapid lean muscle loss. It's such a big piece in that journey. So yeah, I also have found another big piece working with so many women at the moment is, they try and it, they try and say to me, well, what if I just ate a little bit less calories? Will that help me lose weight? And I'm like, no, your body will go into stress mode because there's not enough fuel. And it takes so long to break the brain that it's not about less food and more, cardio workout to lose weight, which, we've been told in our 20s and 30s, and it works really, really well for young men, that formula, but it certainly doesn't for women over 40 at all. So yeah, just like I keep saying to them, just do exactly what I say. Every single person has done exactly what I've said, followed me, everything I've said to a T, have lost weight. And it's been really incredible the last 2 weeks with the women who have started, and watching them. Some lose a lot of weight, that those that have started at a higher weight lose weight really quickly, and others that are already kind of just want to lose 5 or 10 kilos, how they've really noticed a huge change in their inflammation and their aches and pains and their digestion and their gut health. And that's been the primary feedback, which I say, yeah, it happens really quickly. It really happens really quickly when you just have high nutrient, low calorie, eat your starches only at night, before breakfast, and maintain those regular eat times. Because people are like, oh, it's 12:30 and I'm not really hungry. I'm like, yeah, because you're ready to eat. Your body is so satiated that it doesn't go into those traditional old hunger pains that you're used to, that you register as general hunger. It's not. We have kind of restricted ourselves for so many years that we think, oh, we need to be starving hungry before we're ready to eat. And it's not true. The other big thing that, sorry, I feel like I need a cough, that is oh my God, prioritizing one's eating times and one's food, and putting the self first and making sure that they aren't in depletion. Because a few women are like, oh, I've got all this stuff going on in my life and this is happening, so I didn't get to lunch till 2 o'clock, or I didn't end up eating dinner till 8:30. And I'm like, and how are you feeling? And they're like, oh my God, no good. And I said, okay, well, you know, you're running around helping other people do all this stuff and you're putting you behind them. And as a consequence, you end up no good for anyone, for one thing. And two, you're in levels of depletion and your body's got a lot of stress in it and it's just going to hold everything. And, breaking that kind of mindset of putting everyone first and over mothering people and, making sure everybody else is organized and whatever really doesn't help anyone, because in the end, it just all ends up clunky as hell. If you're well nourished, you're well satiated, and you're able to serve others in a way that you can't even begin to imagine if you were literally putting them first, just isn't a great recipe for everyone. So yeah, that's the other big thing, is literally prioritizing the self in this journey. And that's, such a theme for so many women I'm working with at the moment, is they're like, this is my year. I'm like, it's such the energy of this year, of this 9-year, about finally having the self as the number one priority in health, nutrition, life, and realizing that that actually makes you a better partner, a better mother, a better wife, a better employee, a better employer, a better mother, daughter, sister, all of those things, grandmother, is you're able to show up in a way that you may not have been able to for years. You'll have the energy to do it. So yeah, I'm just going to bring it around and to the original piece I was talking about, is that, there are ways to nourish yourself and lose weight, and Ozempic and all the similar things and all of the copycat things and all of that unsustainable long-term choice. It doesn't teach you the patterns you need to be healthy for the rest of your life. And it's not a great fit for bodies, and, not having enough fuel, particularly for women over 40, it puts so much stress on the body, quite often doesn't even work, or it really can damage your metabolism, and it can also really create havoc with your hormones, which then sets off a whole other series of things. So that's my little share around all of that today. I am full for my wellness program. I have a large group of women that are filling in my days running this program, and I will be repeating another intake probably in April or May. So anyone that wants to put their hand up for that, please reach out. I do have 2 people taken spots so far, so there will be 7 other spots available. Yeah, it's a handheld daily journey, full accountability, and I make it really simple for everyone, and it's extraordinary. So thank you so much for listening. Please feel free to share this with anyone that you may feel get benefit. My website is www.nickstar.com, NIKSTARR. Thank you so much. Bye.